Welcome back, guys. This is going to be my long form breakdown of predictions and matchups I think should be made in the UFC top 15 at bantamweight. Coming up first, we got the list here. Sean O'Malley moved down one to number 3. Mario Batista and David Martinez both moved up one, and Davison Figueiredo has gone down 2 after losing to Song Yadong. So first up, we have Petr Yan. This dude should definitely fight Merab in the trilogy. Merab won the first one. Petr Yan, I think, dominated the second one. I think he'd win the third. He looked sharper than Merab. But, Merab definitely deserves the rematch. 3 title defenses in a year, going for his 4th. Loses a decision. Not too bad. He deserves the rematch. But, I think he'll lose. Umar Nurmagomedov, he's fighting David Martinez at UFC Baku, is it? Or Abu Dhabi? Not sure, but they're fighting in July. I think Umar wins this one. I think David Martinez, good striker, but Umar's probably got better grappling than him, and he doesn't look too bad on the feet, so I think he can definitely set up the takedowns, and, David Martinez kind of gassed out in the third round against Chito Vera, so I'm going to look to take Umar by either a third round submission or, just winning a decision based on the second and third round. I think David Martinez probably wins the first. Sean O'Malley taking on Amian Zahabi at the UFC 250 card. I'm going to go with O'Malley to win this one. O'Malley is just the better striker in my opinion. I think he could shut off Amian Zahabi. Amian Zahabi has a lot of scraps. He's 38. Sean O'Malley's still like 31, I believe. He knows what Amian Zahabi is going to want to do in that fight, and he's just going to shut it down. And I think he wins decently easily, either like a third round TKO or a decision win based on the first 2 rounds. Maybe the third round, bit iffy. Amian Zahabi starts slugging it out a bit more, getting desperate for the finish, and Sean maybe loses. But I think Sean wins the first and second round and maybe gets TKO in the third if Amian Zahabi becomes too desperate for a finish. Corey Sandhagen versus Mario Batista 2. This is an exciting one. I think Mario Batista kind of underrated. I think he wins this one. Honestly, I have him winning either by submission in the third round or a decision. I think he's just a bit better than Corey Sandhagen at this point in their careers. When they first fought, he wasn't very well developed, a bit new to the UFC. I think it was his second or his debut. Corey had been around for a couple of fights beforehand. So, I'm gonna say Mario Batista's evolved more, looked better against the top of the division like Umar than Sandhagen did, I think. And I think he'll win this one, get himself into the top 5, look for a matchup with the next person on our list, which is Song Yadong, who I think should face the winner of Sandhagen versus Batista. He hasn't fought Batista before. It'd be a top 5 matchup, good fight, close to a title eliminator for both of them. Corey Sandhagen TKO'd Song Yadong, doctor stoppage, a couple years back. This would be a fun rematch. I think Song Yadong's improved since then, and I think he could probably get it done again. He just needs to work on his output, and I think he could beat a Corey Sandhagen. So that's the matchup I'm going to say needs to happen there. Davison Figueiredo needs to fight either a Raul Rosas Jr., give a younger prospect to jump up the rankings, or he needs to fight a Raoni Barcelos, an UNC matchup. Raoni Barcelos 41, Davison Figueiredo getting up there, hasn't looked the best. Barcelos on a bit of a roll. I think this would be a fun matchup. I think Barcelos would win. I think Rosas Jr. would win. Davison Figueiredo, I think his time in the top of the sport is kind of done. So is Chito Vera's. Give Chito Vera to Peyton Talbot. Peyton Talbot will put on a Sean O'Malley masterclass against Marlon Vera. I think he could put him away in the first or second round, or not the first, second or third round. I think Peyton Talbot would look very good against Marlon Vera, cement himself in that top 10. I think Peyton Talbot would pretty easily handle Marlon Vera. Giga Chikadze, not ranked at, doesn't fight at bantamweight. Vinicius Oliveira does. He's number 12, but after his loss to Mario Batista, he says he's sick of cutting weight, so he's going to move up to featherweight. Just included it here, just as like a mention. So he'll probably be out of the top 15 soon. He'll probably replace Josh Emmett in the top 15 at featherweight. I think he probably wins against Giga Chikadze, and Moving on, Raoni Barcelos, number 14 ranked. If he doesn't get the Figgy fight, he can fight Charles Jourdain. Raoni Barcelos is 41. He's not the most entertaining. He hasn't got a big personality. He hasn't got a big following, I don't believe. He's on a 4 or 5 fight win streak at the moment. Split decision over Montel Jackson. I don't think it should have been a split, but yeah. I think Charles Jourdain showed really good counter wrestling, or survivability, at least against Kyler Phillips in that first round. Second and third round, beat him up, showed a good gas tank, even though he was, a little gassed. He still kept the output going, hurt him. I think he'd beat Raoni Barcelos. He's won 3 in a row at bantamweight, or he's undefeated at bantamweight, won 3 in a row. Looked very good. I want to see him in the rankings, and I think this is his best chance to get in there. And yeah, like I said, Raoni Barcelos, just a bit too old, man. 41, too late in his career to be making a title run. I don't think there's many in the top 10 he beats. I think he could beat a Marlon Vera or a Figgy, but other than that, that's it. So yeah, feed him to the wolves. Sorry, man. Maybe he'll fraud check him like he did Peyton Talbot. But yeah, last fight, Farad Basharat, number 15 ranked. He's taking on Ethan Ewing. Ethan Ewing is going to do bad things to Farad Basharat. Farad Basharat looks very good in the first round. Second and third especially, he starts slowing down a lot. Ewing builds into the fight. I think he's going to have a good first round. I think Basharat's confidence is going to be shaken. He's coming for that and I think Ethan Ewing is just going to put on a really good head movement, stay in the pocket, land damage. Farad Basharat not going to be able to get his kicks going, not going to be able to get any grappling going. I think Ethan Ewing is going to burst into the top 15. And yeah, I think he'll dismantle and probably destroy Farad Basharat over the course of 3 rounds, if he doesn't get a third round TKO, that is. But I could see him finishing Basharat with body shots the way he finished Rafael Estevam. So yeah, that's how I think the top 15 at bantamweight should play out over the course of this year. Let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure to like, follow, share it around. But yeah, thanks for watching.